Guys, welcome back.
that. Connection issues are aplenty. Rito, please. Quick game getting donated the blue after the Dragon take for Ignition Gaming. This could be very tumultuous here as we've got a lot of people mid. There goes the Cullen.
We do see a team fight breaking out. CLG Fender taking a lot of that damage right off the back. Miggles forced to use that troll out of there. And we do see Ignition Gaming trying to make this mid lane siege right now. We still have Jackson top lane, but it does look like, nope, he does not have that teleport available to him right now, and it looks like everyone is just going to go ahead and go off to their separate ways.
Yep, so that was a good defend by Crimson Guard United because Ignition was the ones that were looking to try and make an advantage out of that mid lane push. All the time, Jax is going to get to start catching back up in creep score to Yellow Swag. So for that, Ignition Gaming not getting a whole lot out of there. They wanted to get that tower, but they don't successfully get it because Lulu is really good at wave clear. A really nice shield go up by CFG Fender, blocked almost all the culling damage and really didn't take much.
Yeah, and just looking over the scoreboard here, we have 3 kills on Portal Snacks. Lee Sin is so incredibly effective getting there, getting in, throwing in a lot of damage and getting out. So giving him those kills is, you know, I mean, it's not really the best thing to do. The score is 2-5. We do see Crimson Guard with that lead of about almost 4K, 3.5K. But,
I think that actually getting Lee a little bit extra gold for this composition will do a lot of good for them because they need him to be able to have enough money to be able to build some extra defensive stats just because they don't have naturally tanky lineup. You know, if they have a 4v4 team fight while Dr. Mundo and Jax are teleporting in, they need to have a little bit extra beef.
We do see Miggles throwing the ult down on Thank, and he's not going to have that for the team fight upcoming here.
Well, he did manage to land it this time, though, so point for him there. He has successfully gotten that one down. But we can see that they're starting to be a bit of a pinch here as Ignition Gaming is having to defend their tower because Crimson Guard has pulled all their members mid and they're wanting to try to siege up.
Yep.
So here we go, 16.5 minutes. Got the Q land on Miggles. Portal Snacks deciding not to follow up on it. Just doing a little bit of a dance around here. I don't think that Ignition Gaming is in a good position to try to fight right now. They're a little bit, their life bars are a little bit lower, and they haven't been doing so hot a job with their fights as of late. So,
yeah,
don't think that they're just want to survive. I don't think that, you know, Crimson Guard United is going to be able to get the tower either. So they all send their laners back off. Thank's going to head back down bot.
Thanks is going bot, but he's got no TP now. He used that to get back to mid lane. And we still see 5 of Ignition Gaming members at mid lane.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that Mundo does have his teleport up too. So if Jax does push out the bot lane ever so hard while sustaining the siege, he's going to be able to go back immediately. That being said, he's heading up top right now, and he's going to try to get that shoving probably as fast as possible, and then he'll probably have to teleport bot lane to defend that tier 2 tower.
Cullen coming out there from Feedly to get rid of that wave. Almost 18 minutes into the game, here's Crimson Guard and Ignition Gaming are just kind of, you know, going back and forth, waiting to see who is going to pull the trigger first.
Crimson Guard, I think, is moving up right now, trying to fight in this mid to try to sustain Jax's split push. They're trying to create some pressure so that Ignition Gaming can't just converge on him.
Yeah.
And it seems like Mundo, instead of teleporting bot lane, is deciding to walk mid, and there goes the teleport. But is it too late? There's going to be a lot of damage put down on that tower, as it's actually already down to less than half. So I'm a little surprised the teleport did come out sooner, but Jax backs off. So now we have teleport burned for YOLO Swag Jesus right before Dragon spawning, and there are a lot of wards for Crimson Guard United on Dragon. They have really good control of Ignition.
Yeah, and it does look like Jax is going to go ahead and start up Dragon. No? Are they wanting to start up Dragon? Yes, they are. Think. Portal Snacks is coming over right now. They are doing it, and they do secure it. So that puts Crimson Guard United up even more. They have, you know, like a 4.5k gold lead right here. A little more than that. And
It's just that I think that right now I feel like Ignition Gaming's comp is running a little bit of identity crisis. They're having a little bit of difficulty figuring out what to do. While they did do a pretty good job of running the 2v1, they won that part of the phase, but then they didn't really do anything with it. They didn't manage to transition it into global pressure and taking more towers. Meanwhile, you know, Crimson Guard United's got the nice standard team comp that's going to be able to do a couple things pretty well. You know, they have the ability to make catches really well because they've got the Lee Sin, they've got the Morgana bindings, and they've got the split push ability with Thank on attacks. So they have a really well-rounded comp as compared to hasn't really done anything ever since he picked up that solo kill onto Quick Game at the about 5 minutes. So to get going and become a massive assassin, because as soon as Ignition gets a really strong, then they can start dictating the map again and try to play a little bit more of the objective game that they love, that they favor.
right.
So they need to try to make something happen for them on the map, but there's just so much wave clear and so much defensive ability for Crimson Guard that I'm struggling to see how they're going to be able to make it work. Oh, there goes
And we do
Pearl
see
Snacks
Pearl
going in.
Snacks going in. The Lulu ultimate going down on a Pearl Snacks. And
Fighting
down in
back.
bottom lane we see YOLO Swag dropping Thank. Hesh from Texas continuing the chase. No, he's going to go ahead and back off. CLG Fender trying to soak up some of the damage. And now Crimson Guard is in a position to turn around.
Double kill.
Speedily with the double kill. What a good play from Crimson Guard United. I mean, in the bottom lane, you know, we've seen Mundo and Thank kind of duking it out. Fortunately, it did go in the favor of YOLO Swag, but in the middle lane, Crimson Guard just got a double kill on Feedly. That is so big.
Yeah, and not only that, but that's the other thing worth knowing too, is that yes, Thank died to YOLO Swag, but the tower is down. So I'm assuming that that's part.
We do see a little more damage coming out onto YOLO Swag. Crimson Guard sticking around the mid lane. And it kind of looks like they're wanting to back off and kind of defend. They have such a big goal lead right now. And those 2 kills that Feedly just got, it is going to put Crimson Guard up ahead, you know, so much right now.
Thing is, they're getting dictated to right now because Pearl Snacks, he just goes into a fight and immediately gets wild growth by Quick Game, and boom, he's immediately difficult to kill despite him having built mostly offense up to this point. So
Yeah.
right now, Ignition's got to work to try to find some picks somewhere. Problem is, they don't really have a whole lot to work with to try and make that happen outside of Hesh from Texas landing a good cocoon.
Yeah, I mean, how does Ignition initiate a fight, right? I mean, you have Brum with his ultimate, or you have Elise with a cocoon. Maybe Morgana binding, but outside of that, not so much, you know? I mean, not Morgana binding, I'm sorry. Maybe, yeah, the Brum or the Elise, but that's pretty much it, you know?
Pikachu getting... Hey, we got teleport. YOLO Swag.
And YOLO Swag is dangerously low right now. He drops down. Pearl Snacks goes down. Soul Insight might be in trouble right now. Quick Game, kind of out of position. Right there, Soul Insight goes down from Thank. Hesh from Texas also taking a lot of damage. He is going to drop. CLG Fender also goes down. Thank is just doing the Jax thing right now, man. He is so incredibly strong right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be a 4-for-1 trade in favor of Crimson Guard United. Quick game, able to stay alive quite well. Yellow Swag having a little bit of communication problems with the team. Teleporting in right into the middle a little bit early. Oop, there's a flash by Miggles. Troll pole.
Might punish Quick Game for staying around too long here, and he does. Fortunately, he does get that gold from it, but I mean, with the Crimson Guard team, they remind me of a shark, you know, kind of just swimming in the water, waiting for something to happen, and then, you know, boom, taking big chunks out of their enemies. You know, these fights have really devastated Ignition Gaming.
Yeah, and that's where the problem is. They don't really have, Ignition Gaming doesn't really have any way to dictate a start of the fight. You know, you mentioned the Braum using his Glacial Fissure, but that really only has an AoE knockup if it's right next to him. He'd rather be saving that to protect against the Jax. YOLO Swag was a little early on his teleport. He ended up getting blown up by everyone on Crimson Guard before he got a chance to tank, really.
Yeah.
He didn't get ganked by 3 members, though. He's gonna go down here. Thank
just got, yeah.
He had the Goon Squad on him.
He officially had the whole Goon Squad on him, for sure. So now that one of the Crimson Guard United members is down, how will Ignition Gaming use this time to their advantage? It does look like they're going for this dragon. They are going to pick it up, and yeah, that is, you know, a start to what they need to really...
They want to go for more.
Yeah, they want to go for more, but it's just little things like that that they really need to get their foothold back to get a grasp on this game, you know, because it started getting out of control. But, you know, getting little catches like that, getting Dragon, you know, that's exactly what they need here to come back into this match.
Especially with have 3 members. The big thing there that happened with that kill on Jax is I'm pretty sure that no, he has 3 kills, but he didn't have a spree. Right now, there's still a spree open on Feedly, and I'm pretty sure there's a spree on the... No, Lee Sin also doesn't have a spree, but they do have a spree that they can go and collect on the Feedly. They need to try to get him killed, but CFG Fender gets caught out.
CFG Fender does get caught out. He is going to be punished by the Crimson Guard United squad. They are not having it. He was out of position. There was really no excuse for him to be there at that time, and Crimson Guard is going to give him the full punishment for that.
And the dangerous part is now is that Yellow Swag's teleport is down. So he's got, and especially with CFG Fender being dead, he's got to stay group.
Right.
Means Thank is going to be able to start split pushing this tower, and if he doesn't, there's going to be a power play available for mid lane here.
Yep.
Eagles, the only ones that are currently alive. Really isn't a whole lot of area for them to push, so instead, Crimson Guard looks towards the jungle, starts stealing away some camps.
12-6. Crimson Guard is up by 8K right now. And I mean, 27 minutes in the game, that's pretty big. It's not insane, but it's just...
Defender getting a lot of people coming at him. They back away though, misses out on the resonating strike, or his Q. Yellow Swag's gonna get bound up though. There's Jarden Blaze, there's a Q.
Yellow Swag took a lot of damage right there. So he's going into the fight right now almost at half health. Now he is down to half health, and Crimson Guard is engaging. Poro Snacks using the ultimate there. We do see Fizz going into that back line. CLG Fender is about to go down from Thank. Thank is actually about to go down. No, Thank picks up the kill right now. YOLO Swag Jesus on the tail of Thank. Hesh from Texas uses the Q on Thank, yeah, and just takes him out.
And that's actually going to be, despite all of that being said, it's still a 2-for-1 trade. Ignition Gaming did a really good job of fighting that one out, but they still ended up losing more members there. They had a lot of, they did do spread out, but Miggles wasn't able to get anything done in the back line. Just too much, there's just too much appeal for Crimson Guard United between the Lulu, the Feedly's Lucian and Pikachu on Morgana, there's just too much for him to be able to handle pretty much by himself because Braum was on survival duty, Hesh
Yeah.
from Texas was on peel duty for Soul Insight, and YOLO Swag was in the back line as well, so Miggles wasn't able to really get anything done. While it was a very close fight, it's just not a whole lot of cohesion, it feels like, for the Ignition Gaming squad here, because ideally, sure, Miggles should be in the front line along with YOLO Swag Jesus, but
Yeah.
the two of them together don't have any particularly hard CC to be able to lock down opponents, especially when you can consider the Wild Growth and the Black Shield from Morgana.
Well, here's the thing. We seen Miggles go to that backline straight away, right? But he's got no real items to blow anyone up. He's got Lich Bane and a needlessly large
Lashed away
rod,
by
but that's
Tank, though,
about
and he's
it.
going to get killed.
That, it's just
so
simply not enough.
Hesh from Texas getting jumped on. CFG Fender there to defend. He gets the autos blocked there. There goes the culling by Pikachu.
Hesh from Texas,
going in.
way out in the end zone, gets caught out. CLG Fender dropping the ultimate Pearl Snacks with a very nice ult. And it looks like Soul Insight might go down. No! Pearl Snacks goes down. CLG Fender goes down. Soul Insight goes down. And Crimson Guard United just flipped this team fight on its head. Such a good job from Crimson Guard there.
Yep, and YOLO Swag got really disconnected from his team. He got split out. Wasn't able to make impact there because Soul Insight was having an excellent position, but then he got kicked back by Pearl Snacks there with an excellent Dragon's Rage. I think he then immediately Valkyried or but the done, YOLO Swag was out of position, and so and they've managed to take that lead.
Yeah.
It's now 10,000 gold here at the 30 and a minute half, 30-minute and a half mark, and exactly Ignition Gaming outside of grouping up as 5 and trying to go kill Thank multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't really see any way for them to pick up any easy kills here. Pearl Snacks is starting to get bulky. Oh wait, no, he's coming from Ignition Gaming. So, despite his heavy damage, he's still defensively pretty well. He can also do the monkey bar around his Lee Sin.
Well,
Got the Holy Grail completed. He's also super defensive. There's just not a lot of ways for them to kill any targets quickly.
right. And I mean, let's take a second and look at the damage coming out from Crimson Guard United. Jax 4, 4, and 3. Triforce, Blade of the Ruin King, he is huge right now. Fideli on Lucian, Triforce, Bloodthirster, and a Banshee's Veil. He is insane right now. 6, 0, and 5. I mean, that is insane. There's so much damage coming out from Crimson Guard United right now. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is with that I really like Banshee's pickup for Fideli, as not only does it provide that already excellent spell shield against Miggles and Hesh, which is going to be absolutely critical, but when you combine that on top of Morgana's Black Shield, it means that the entirety of Ignition Gaming's damage sources are nullified. Mundo does magic damage.
We do see a team fight coming out here. CLG Fender dangerously low. Thank all the way in the front line, but it doesn't look like anyone's gonna walk away with anything right here. Just a couple of punches and jabs, but no, no KOs.
A lot of ultimates blown though. The only one that's still left up is Morgana still having her soul shackles available to her. Overall though, you saw there, Thank took the Chum the Waters from Miggles, and it did nothing to him.
Yeah.
They just have to... Crimson Guard United just has to itemize magic resistance, and that's going to be the way for them to walk their victory. And that's where this Morgana pick is going to do absolute wonders for them, because her soul... that Black Shield is going to be absolutely critical to keeping whatever carry she puts it on alive.
Yeah. 33 minutes into this match, Crimson Guard United is up about 11 about 11k. Yeah, 11.5k right now, and their lead just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're doing it feels like all the right things to keep their lead. And, we haven't seen them do anything really to kind of give that up. I mean, there was that one time where Jax got caught in bottom lane, but that was about it. And, they gave up the dragon, but ever since then, it's been them increasing their lead, what they already have. So it's just been really, really hard on Ignition to try to come back into this thing. They're looking for picks, they're looking for fights. But here's the thing, I don't really necessarily think they're playing their team fights to their strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, Fizz going into the backline, he doesn't really have anything to blow anyone up. Why is it going, like, I think they can play their team fights better. Maybe try to get some picks if they're looking to come back into this, but they need to really ward up, and they need to be really careful and really well orchestrated.
The thing is that their comp, Ignition Gaming's comp, does not really sit back and turtle particularly well.
Right.
I mean, they do have the defensive specialist, Abram. Insight, along with Hesh, is going to give them some wave clear, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If on Jax, he's going to be able to split push, and Mundo still hasn't shown that he can adequately face off against the Jax, especially because Jax is going to just magic resistance as much as he's gotten his 2 key damage items completed. So we can see they're actually going ahead and starting up the Baron for themselves here on Crimson Guard United's behalf.
Yeah.
Mundo's split pushing bottom lane.
And Fiddly and Thank are just putting tons of damage onto this Baron, and before they know it, they will have the Baron. Crimson Guard United walking away with that Baron at 33 minutes and 35 minutes and 30 seconds. Now they want a team fight. Miggles is in real trouble. Hesh from Texas is in trouble as well. Thank chasing after Hesh. Wow. Excellent team fight there from Crimson Guard United. Quick Game also chasing down YOLO Swag. YOLO Swag, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get away, honestly. Quick Game just throwing everything he has on a YOLO Swag.
There goes Flash. And that's going to be the auto attack to finish off. One thing worth noting, YOLO Swag tried teleporting it in there, and I'm pretty sure Quick Game was able to get in and polymorph him away to cancel that teleport. But we saw as soon as the Baron buff went down, immediately Crimson Guard United went to look for the fight, and that goes ahead and is going to give them the Nexus here, or at least one of the Nexus towers. They're gonna back off. Spawn timers are up. They gotta be careful.
And I mean, I think that is smart that they went ahead and backed off right there. But right now, it is a very, very dim light for Ignition Gaming for this game. They started off doing alright, like, it's just, I'm not really sure what went wrong. Maybe the rotations weren't correct. Maybe they just, try to, bite off more than they could chew at certain points. And it kind of just, Crimson Guard just did such a good job of flipping the script on them.
I think one of the key hinges for this game was the fact that Miggles missed back-to-back Chum the Waters.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, it was absolutely crucial for him to try to get his lead snowballed, because as soon as he exerts a huge pressure, that's when they can go ahead and try to go and use their split push game to a little bit more effect.
Right.
But as soon as he's just meh, that's when Lulu's going to provide more value to her team, and so Miggles wasn't able to take control of the game, because when you pick that Fizz in a team, there's certain expectations.
Yeah. And I mean, you're right. Landing those skill shots are so crucial. When you play a champion like Fizz, and you're not getting those skill shots, that is very crucial. Just looking across the board right now, Lulu's sitting on 242 CS, whereas Fizz is only at 142 CS. That is huge for Lulu and Crimson Guard United. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and group towards this bottom side of the map, in what's their hopes of being their last and final push.
Yeah. So, seeing just a little bit of trading here. Couple of Banshees coming across on Crimson Guard United. Excellent itemization pickup for them. as there's a lot of the magic resistance is absolutely beautiful for them. They've got Lulu. They can kind of go and siege this tower as long as they want. Lulu's got blue and oh my goodness, that damage.
Tons of damage right now coming out. Once again, the Fizzle does not hit anybody at all. Hesh dropping down to about half health, and
Yolo's like having to burn sadism just to sustain though. He gets caught up again.
YOLO Swag caught once again. CLG Fender forced to use that ultimate, but he's gonna drop down. Miggles drops down. YOLO Swag also knocked out Hesh, and yeah,
there's the kick.
KO'd.
That's gonna be game here as we see at the 39-minute mark, 26-9, and game's gonna go to Crimson Guard United.
Very good game there for Crimson Guard United. We are going to go ahead and hop into a commercial break, but when we get back, we have Glacial Gaming versus Team Earth Week. Stick around, and we'll be back shortly.
Are you ready, Goku? Special Beam Cannon!
Everything that happened here today has been transmitted to my two Saiyan comrades deep in outer space. They will wipe you out, you and every living thing on this planet.
This is Jenny Giroux reporting for KBC News. We've just arrived at the scene. We don't know why the aliens have landed, but we're gonna try and get a closer look on camera. Oh wait, one of the aliens seems to be signaling something.
They're here.
Looks like they've been waiting for us.
This is gonna be one hell of a party. All right, bring it on! Chelsea! Drive in!
Hurry, Goku! We need your help! Show me what you got.
You sure like to talk big, don't you?
You should feel lucky. Not every low-class warrior gets a spot with the Prince of All Saiyans.
You're gonna pay for all the people you've hurt.
Alright guys, what's up? We are here with Poro Snacks, who just played an amazing game on Lee Sin. He just went 4-3-20. Welcome, Poro Snacks.
Thank you.
So man, we're just gonna go ahead and ask you a few questions, man. First of all, congratulations to you and Crimson Guard United. You guys just played awesome. First things first, so what were your thoughts on getting into the match? So like you guys were in Champion Select. Walk me through your thoughts.
So we noticed that a lot of them had kind of a comfort pick that we wanted to kind of take away from them. So we kind of just stuck with that and took away their, I guess, priority picks that we saw. And then we figured we would go with just some comfort picks and then also steal some of their other ones off. Like the Lucian pick was kind of to force them onto Corky. We got our specific picks, we knew that we just had to get Jax fed and kind of stall and wait till he got to late game, and then we'd be able to clean it up pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, well you guys did awesome. Go ahead, Logan.
Thank you.
So, when you went into the Rift and you saw the 2v1, what were you guys' plans for how you needed to play that?
Well, I guess we haven't had a whole bunch of practice against that, so at first we it took a little bit of deciding, and then we decided that we were just going to stick with it, and I was going to come top and just help him for a little bit. And we realized that when I had double buff in level 3, we'd kind of just engage really quick, and it worked out really well because pretty much allowed Jax to just get some extra farm that was needed right there. And then once they put everybody top, we went and rotated and took the dragon and everything, and it just seemed to work out pretty good.
Alright,
So,
cool.
For you as a jungler, what was your goal? More so to get your Jax fed? You mentioned that you want to get Jax really fed. Was your goal more to get Jax fed, or was it to more make sure that their Miggles didn't get fed on Fizz? Because as soon as he picked up that first kill, you made sure to visit again and counter gank when Hesh came in on the Elise.
Well, I mean, we seem to win most of our smaller skirmishes, so I just figured I would kind of go to the lanes that needed help, and it was kind of like a counter gank scenario. However, there were some situations where it was like we knew that we could fight, and we knew our champion strengths and their strengths, and that like Fizz was going to be weak early, so we kind of just decided that we'd kind of roam a little bit, or I would roam at least, and kind of come to the lanes that needed help.
Alright. Throughout the game, you guys showed a strength, and pretty much a dominant performance over Ignition Gaming. What was the defining moment where you guys knew, man, this is over, we got this?
I think it was when they grouped 5 as middle, and we could wave clear pretty much when they were trying to push. We kind of just knew from that point that they were way behind and that Jax was just going to be able to snowball. And since we could keep them at bay, we knew that it was just like we could delay the game and then just pull it out later on.
Alright. Cool. Logan, you have any other questions?
Yeah, so just kind of curious who you were personally targeting when you got into team fights. You were really fearless in your initiations. If you landed a Q and it was onto a reasonably squishy target, you just immediately went in knowing your team would follow up. So was there any particular plan of who you needed to try to get to?
I think we just had in mind where if we were going to if we could hit some skills on the squishy targets, we were going to go in. And you could tell that we had that Macedonian synergy and could wombo it up as soon as one of us hit our skill shots. Like the Lee Sin Qs or the Lucian ults or the Morgana snares. There's multiple times where we hit a squishy target, and it was kind of like when I said I was going in, the team just followed up right away.
Alright. Fair enough, man. You guys played an awesome game. Thank you so much, Poro Snacks, for coming in here and giving us some of your time for an interview. Congratulations to you and your team once again. And I think that's it for right now. We are going to cut to a commercial break, but when we get back, we have Glacial Gaming versus Earth Week.
Team Earth Week.
Team Earth Week. So stick around, guys, and we'll see you after the commercial.
Thanks.
this is where it's at. I mean, this is the biggest game on the planet.
Are you ready for the grind game mode? This is going to change everything.
It's the grind gaming community. It's our legacy.
In every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind, except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
We're live. Welcome
Alrighty.
back, everyone.
Welcome back to Grind Gaming Baron League Day 2, Week 2, Game 2. We've got Glacial Gaming here against Team Earth Week.
This is going to be an awesome game. I mean, last week we didn't have GG he was actually away, but he's back now, and I'm really excited to see how these games are going to go again, or how this last game is going to pan out.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing how well each team does. Interested in seeing as well if we get to see some of the namesakes for some of these players here, because I Play Fizz and Shaco the Useful got both their champions banned away, and doggone it, we already got a Fizz ban underway as well.
Yeah, the Fizz ban does come out. I mean, obviously that's targeted against I Play Fizz. I can't say, because I've played with I Play Fizz. He is a monster on Fizz, and so is Shaco the Useful. If Shaco the Useful gets a hold of Shaco, that guy is a powerhouse. For the other bands coming out, we do see Kha'Zix, Vi, and Jarvan so far.
I'm surprised to see that Jarvan ban. He has not been played a whole lot ever since he received those nerfs on his width for his knockup. Just everyone stopped playing him because he got that much harder to play. It's like, why not just play Vi? But definitely a target ban here going on them for Blargenflarg, it would seem. He's got to have some time under him, though, and we see final bans away are going to be Morgana and Kale. Both sisters getting knocked out. Brahm's open, though.
Braum is open once again, and I'm pretty sure Braum is just the champion that everyone wants to have on their team. I mean, we seen Braum last game, and we seen Steezy play Braum. Braum, he's just such a powerhouse champ. I know I said that last time, but he is just so incredibly strong. We got about 25 seconds left, and GG Simp is thinking about what he wants to pick up here.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what he plays. We didn't get to see Simp last week, like you said. I want to see what he does, if he plays the standard meta champs or if he goes for his own way here. But he's actually going ahead and pick up the Wukong. Is that going to be the jungle Wukong for Blargenflarg?
I'm not sure.
Oh, Shaco the Useful locking the Twitch immediately as well. I was really hoping to see him lock in the Shaco. So maybe we'll still see it later. I'm not thinking that's going to be a jungle rat, so I think that's going to be a pickup for Mojo So Dope. But we do see Legendary Top NA going for that Jax, and that's going to be scary.
Legendary Top NA again. Like, I've played with him personally in in-house games, and this guy is so good on Jax. He is so strong. Putting Jax in the hands of Legendary Top NA is really scary, because the guy knows how to play. We do see Draven here being thought by Retro, and Blargenflarg hovering over the Braum. So that's already a super strong bottom lane.
Yeah, Pharaoh's X put on a dominating performance last week on his Jinx. So I am very excited to see his Draven play. I'm sure that is very, very strong. And like you said, combined with the Braum, it makes it really... There's just a lot that they do well. Draven's going to be absolutely monstrous for his autos. Meanwhile, you've got Braum to just cover his back and just defend for him. They have repositioning skill available to him, so having Braum to just step in front of him, have a big shield for him, is going to be absolutely huge. But we see Cho'Gath, Marco.
And what are the chances of seeing Cho'Gath? I mean, when was the last time we seen this guy on Summoner's Rift, right? Cho'Gath is one of those champions.
GG played him in last year's spring split, I think, was the last time we've seen Cho'Gath. In any sense of the term, I haven't seen a Cho'Gath in a normal game in months. But we see the locks are going in, and that's probably going to be a mid lane Cho'Gath. for I Play Fizz.
Question
well,
mark?
Mojo's dope blocking Lee Sin, and I know that Lee Sin was kind of popular a couple months ago for the mid lane, right around the beginning of season
And we do
4-ish.
see Pharaoh's hovering that Kassadin and Kleepa hovering Lissandra. So yeah,
This game has just gone crazy, man. I don't know what to tell you, Marco. We're gonna see a top lane. We're gonna see a top lane Lissandra go against the Jax, and then we're gonna see the Kassadin mid try to survive against I Play Fizz's Cho'Gath. If that's what it is. Someone's calling for Pearl Snack's calling for the support Cho'Gath, but I'm not feeling it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, Cho'Gath. I haven't seen a Cho'Gath in competitive play. You know, like you were saying, like since last year, since maybe even before that, like Cho'Gath in competitive play, like that's unheard of right now, right? We do see Leona last pick here from Fraction, so the teams are locked. This is what it is. For Team Earth Week, we have Jax with Legendary Top NA, Shaco the Useful on Lee Sin, I Play Fizz on Cho'Gath, My Mojo So Dope on Twitch, and Fraction on Leona. And then for Glacial Gaming, we have GG Simp on Lissandra, Blarg and Flarg on Wukong, Retro on Kassadin, Pharos on Draven, and Kleepa on Braum. And I love that name, Kleepa.
I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun with that in game.
Kleepa.
I'm curious to see. I watched a bit of solo queue. I like watching Dyrus stream, and it seems that when I watch Dyrus play against Lissandra or play with Lissandra, I've seen a couple Lissandra v Jax matchups, and I don't think it went pretty well for the Lissandra. So, as much as I'm excited to see it being picked, I'm not sure if that's going to be what the, Glacial Gaming needs to be able to control of Legendary Top's Jax. So
yeah, I mean Lissandra. It can either, like, the way I feel about it is it can go really good for Glacial Gaming, or it can go
bad.
really bad. Yeah. So it's up in the air right now. The team comps are out of this world. Really, they are. I mean, seeing Lissandra, seeing Kassadin, seeing Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath.
These are champions we don't usually get the pleasure of seeing in competitive gameplay. I mean, Kassadin, yeah, sometimes. I mean, other times he's banned, right? But he's not really like he's just. I don't know. You just really need that.
Kassadin is a great pickup for Glacial Gaming. I think he's going to have a good lane against the Cho'Gath. Kassadin traded when they did the rework. They traded away a lot of his late game power for more of a streamlined and ratchet power curve. He's got a lot more early game power. He's not as weak as everyone think him to be. You know, you start like Chalice, or not Chalice on him, but you start like Flask on him, and you just use Q to poke and use your W to sustain your mana. He's going to have a good time against I Play Fizz. It'll just depend on how good, of course, just like with any Cho'Gath, how good are those ruptures.
Yeah.
Which is definitely going to be a problem once you head into level 6, because Retro is going to have access to Rift Walk, and if Cho'Gath lands another rupture after that, it's going to be something impressive to see.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you know, as we seen last game, you know, Fizz, landing those skill shots are so important. And I mean, it's no different for I Play Fizz here on Cho'Gath. Just in any game in general, when you pick a champ where it's so skill shot dependent, that is so crucial. So I guess we're gonna see how I Play Fizz does here in this match with Cho'Gath. We have about 30 seconds left here on the delay timer, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into a commercial break. But when we get back, we are gonna see the game between Glacial Gaming and Team Earthweek. Stick around, guys. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back in a minute.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to our League of Legends Top 5 Plays week number 159. We have an awesome set of plays that range from clutch mechanics all the way to game-changing choices that single-handedly win the game, so get hyped as we dive into this episode of our Top 5 Plays. Kickstarting this episode off, we have a short outplay by Phantomless on Zed. At the start, we see the enemy Lux land a binding, but she gets scared off by the threat of Zed swapping into his ultimate and backs off. We see the pony moving in with his ult, but Zed outplays and swaps with the shadow straight into his ultimate to negate the damage from devastating charge. He then backs off as Cho'Gath comes in with Rupture as the tower, Deathmark, and Shurikens finish him off for the kill. Let's check that out one more time as we see some quick moves from Phantomless to swap out of Hecarim's ult and then react quickly enough to ult the damage that would have surely been his demise. Coming in at our number 4 play, we have Poppy Swappy with a huge play on support Alistar. At the start, we notice a few things. Blue team is down on gold, and with their jungler dead and a Teemo on the enemy team, the majority of his team decide to give up Baron. But not this bull. He sees them doing Baron with a ward and decides to move in, but LeBlanc gets the jump on him, landing most of her combo, but he unexpectedly turns around with a beautiful WQ combo and Ignite, turning the tables for the kill. The enemy team springs into action as he waits as long as he can before popping his ultimate to bait massive cooldowns as his team comes running in with Sivir. An amazing 3-man pulverize sets his team up for an easy teamfight, and with barely any cooldowns left, the enemy team gets crushed in a matter of seconds. In addition to knowing his champion's limits, what makes this play extraordinary is that he, out of everyone on his team, fearlessly made a play to stop the free Baron while picking up a solo kill. He went through a field that could have been laced with mushrooms, got a kill, ate a ton of cooldowns up, and it pays off as they get Baron now and win the game shortly after. Landing in at our 3rd place spot for this week is Tank 4 Armo on Fizz with an Xpeke play when it matters the most. Right off the bat, we see him pick off the enemy Heimer after snaking his way through the enemy jungle, and with both teams going for each other's Nexus, the race begins. Fiddles tries to stall him because their Nexus is completely exposed, and we switch over to the enemy team as they work on taking down the inhib. Going back to Fizz now, we see Fiddle start up his ultimate as he E's preemptively to get out of range of Fear. He gets in a Lich Bane auto attack before the Fear goes off as he gets shredded by Crowstorm, but manages to Zhonya's right before his Guardian Angel goes off, allowing his E to come back up as he gets in more auto attacks before going down. We go back to his base as we see blue team trying their very best to minimize damage, and then we go back to Fizz one last time to see another playful / trickster give him the gap he needs to close out the game right before red team takes the win. Man-lifing his way into 2nd place, we have Great Brown Ninja with a fantastic support play. In the beginning, we see an amazing catch on Ezreal despite the arcane shift straight into the box to lock them up as Ashe lands a nice arrow on Nami to get off tons of damage with the help of the tower. Great Brown Ninja slows down Ezreal with a...
You lead.
Alright guys, welcome back to Glacial Gaming vs Team Earthweek. We are on the Rift and ready to go.
Yep, and as I was wanting to talk a little bit about during Champion Select, I think a key hinge point is going to be for a Team Earth Week is going to be shutting down the Wukong is going to be absolutely crucial for top Shaco, Fizz, Mojo, and Fraction crew. They've got to make sure that when he ults, it's not really going to do much, and that he's going to get blown up as soon as he tries. Because as soon as Wukong dies, the rest of the team's composition for the blue side here is just going to fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, shutting down a Wukong in the jungle is huge, right? I mean, if you don't have a good, or if you don't have a Wukong who's decently like fed and farmed, it pretty much just brings the whole team down. So if they can go in there and take out the Wukong, that'd be like, you know, just so crucial. So
yeah.
we're at 1:25 right now. Pretty much everything is really standard with all the items. Everyone has a yellow trinket. Nothing too insane. And Lissandra's top, and you know it doesn't look like we're gonna have any lane swaps or anything like that. So everything is really just standard here. So
yeah. So Marco, we'll go ahead, guys, and get the technical detail fixed away. We'll get the Ignition Gaming switched over to Glacial Gaming in just a moment here. Take a little bit of a moment to see that though, because you're a little bit behind us. But we see standard starts. I do like the Flask start here for Legendary top. I think it's gonna be smart because early game Lissandra does poke for days. And there we go. We've already got a rupture down onto retro. There may be more many to come. We'll have to see.
Alright, it should be fixed now. We have Glacial Gaming versus Team Earthquake. Sorry about that. But it is fixed now. Coming out at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Nothing too crazy going on. Legendary Top putting some pretty good damage on a GG Simp as he drops down to about half health.
Yeah. The Lissandra v Jax matchup is really for Lissandra. It's how well she can poke at Jax during the off periods when his counter strike is on cooldown, and for Jax is how well he can survive those periods of time, because he has the kill potential when he's got the counter strike up. He can put a lot of damage down. It just depends on how well he's able to survive those interim periods.
Yeah.
So we will see how that fares, because again, GG Simp is going to be put down low. It's going to be a tough lane if this continues.
It's going to be a tough lane indeed.
Whoa!
Very nice there from Pharos to take
Stand
fraction off of
aside
him.
there, Leona. Draven don't want none of your games.
Very
And
well played there
immediately-
from Fraction. Or Pharos, I'm sorry, Pharos. GG Simp is in trouble here. Ignite is ticking. That could be first blood for Legendary Top NA. Very well played
There
there.
we go, flash though by Mojo, and Pharos squeaking away with a little bit of health. Kleepa doing some massive defensive peeling for his carry there. Blargenflar's floating in the corner, but I don't know if he's going to do anything right at this moment. So a couple of summoners traded away there. Draven, though, holding on to his flash, while Mojo had to blow his.
Yeah. We do see Kleepa trying to keep everyone away from Twitch. Blargenflark is in real trouble here. Shaco the Useful is going to go ahead and pick up that kill, but now Shaco the Useful is in trouble. No? You know what? They're going to go ahead and just back away from that. That's a dangerous situation. Pharos dropping dangerously low. Twitch poison is on him. Oh my gosh, he does drop.
Oh my god! His health bar, he died by probably 1 health. In that, if he had gotten 1 more health from, he would have lived right there. That's how close that was. Excellent call by Fraction. Immediately went over the wall, no hesitation, and they get the double kill there. That is a great start for the bot lane here of Team Earthquake.
It's one of those situations where it's like big risk, big reward, and right there it was all big reward for Team Earthquake. And you know, like you said, Fraction seen the opportunity to go in and he did not hesitate. Paid off so much. My Mojo's so dope. Already, he's already got a kill off that. So that was huge for their bottom lane.
I love the way that you just said that, but this is not boding well for Glacial Gaming. Just to get an idea of how snowbally this last few minutes have been, top, he's got the 1-0 lead on GG Simp. Unless Wukong comes up and top to help, I don't think that lane's going to change any for a while. GG Simp's going to continue to struggle. However, Wukong just died. He's 0-1. He lost his double buffs. Take any effective plays.
Yeah.
And Shaco gets a kill, so there's 2 lanes that are already doing well.
Yeah.
The mid Cho'Gath is that he's kind of like the idea being that he just shuts others down. He's played for the win lane, lose game kind of mentality, but in this situation, he's got the 15 CS lead.
And we see Blargenflark coming top lane to help GG Simp, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to come up with anything. Legendary Top able to get out of that situation. In Glacial Gaming right now, like you said, they're down. They need a pick. They need some kills. Blargenflark is in real trouble right here. He tries to clone out, but it's not going to be enough. Shaco the Useful picking the perfect time to come up to that top lane and just finish off Blargenflark.
Yeah, and so another death on the Wukong, another kill on the Lee Sin, and again, there's so much snowballing going on in favor. Bot lane's got a 20 CS in comparison. Pharos X
Yeah, and I mean, I know we didn't see GG Simp last week, and maybe that's why he's not doing so hot. Maybe they didn't have quite enough practice between the time. And GG Simp is probably going to go down here. Yes, he does. That's 2-0 for Jax right now, and the lead is getting bigger and bigger. We do see Retro coming down. He is throwing all the damage right now on a Mojo So Dope. Mojo So Dope is going to go into stealth. Fraction gets stunned, and they're not going to be able to walk away with anything right here. Mojo So Dope and Fraction are able to get out of that situation without any KOs.
Yep, and the thing is, all that pressure created by bot lane and not giving up any kills allows Cho'Gath to shove up, which means Wukong can't fight for his own buff. So Shaco the Useful going ahead and just flexing his muscles away a buff from the already underwhelming situationally Blarg. So there's the lockup. There goes Pharaoh's X. Mojo So Dope getting the kill there. Fraction just sat in the bush and waited for Pharaohs to move up, and without his support, he just gave away a kill.
And on one hand, you got Team Earthquake with, it seems like everything is going right, everything is going in their favor. But on the other side of the rift, you got Glacial Gaming, and right now, what they need to do is they need to keep their mindset right. They cannot get worked up about what's happened. They need to focus. They need to slow it down. They need to get back to farming. They need to take control of their own jungle again, as we've seen Shaco the Useful. He's still red buff away from Wukong, and that's so big. They need to get the wards out. They need to get control of their side of the map back, and they cannot allow or they cannot be giving up all these little easy kills, because right now it seems like the kills that they've given up could have been prevented, so they need to just slow it down, farm it up, and allow themselves to come back into this game.
Yeah, the thing is that at this point in time though, Jax is 2-0. He's got 30 CS lead on Synth. Cannot fight Legendary Top NA right now. He just cannot. All he can really do is sit under tower and farm. So we're gonna see Legendary Top go to look to try to put damage on tower soon. He's got 2 levels and red buff on Synth. Yeah, unfortunately he misses the empowered strike there. But we're going to just see him try to wrest control. This may very well be one of those games where you see the top laner trying to carry from the top by just absolutely pulling all the map up to him.
Yeah.
Very much Team Earthquake is playing a comp oriented around trying to win their lanes. They've got Shaco on Lee Sin, they've got I Play Fizz on Cho'Gath, and we've got the assassination combination here, Leona being picked into the Braum, who's supposed to be considered the counter pick. So it just depends on how well. Oh, ultimate going down by Sim.
And
Legendary Top's still gonna get it though.
And right there, that was good from Simp. He did play that about as best as he could have. I wonder maybe if he would have ulted Jax instead of himself, would the outcome have been different? But nonetheless, very well played. We do see in the bottom lane here, Shaco the Useful actually just took out Pharaohs, and he's looking for more.
Yep, that's where the mid Cho'Gath can actually do some respectable damage, because
yeah, I mean, coming into it, Cho'Gath, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to pan out, but look at him right now. 1-0-0. He's got 92 CS at 11 and a half minutes. I Play Fizz, he is just doing awesome on Cho'Gath right now. He got the mid tower. That roam right there was really nice. So he is playing, well. He is playing well. Legendary Top here, just farming out this top lane, and it doesn't look like he's going to want to go in there. Pharaohs may be in some trouble. Fraction does go in. Pharaohs is in real trouble. The Solar Flare comes down. Fraction taking tons of damage. My Mojo So Dope comes away with the kill. 3-0-0 with 86 farm right now at 12 minutes. And he is just a monster right now. This Twitch is just, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And another very well played there, or very well orchestrated
Executed
dive
dive by Fraction.
By Fraction, absolutely. And that's the type of thing that will keep them in the lead. But for Glacial Gaming, that's the kind of thing that they cannot afford to give up. You know, it's just not acceptable right now.
Well, the thing is, if you think that Mojo's So Dope is going to be scary now, wait until about 15 minutes. We don't even have, we have Mojo So Dope with completed Blade of the Ruin King. Meanwhile, Fyros X, he's got the extra long sword, so I'm not sure if that's just for extra damage now, if he's looking to go Blade of the Ruin King himself, or if he's building that in anticipation of his Last Whisper, but he is seriously behind. Just wait until about 10-15 minutes from now when Twitch is going to be 2 items ahead because of the lead he's got right now. He's got 30 CS on Draven. He's got the 3 kills. He is going to be huge, even though he already is. Same thing with Fraction. His Leona is going to get seriously tanky soon because he is generating a lot of gold for himself. GG Simp is going to go down to the Ignite.
Yeah, he is going to go down. Last week we seen 100 skills in top lane, and now we see GG Simp. And last week in the mid lane we seen Lulu Leia, but now we see Retro. So I kind of wonder if that has to do with it. Maybe they didn't have as much time to practice or kind of re-synergize themselves after a small break like they had. But yeah, like I said before,
Glacial Gaming did play with a lot of subs last week.
Yeah.
But they did really well for themselves.
Absolutely.
And there goes the kick. Klepa knocking himself into Retro. They're still going forward, but Klepa's rather low.
Klepa
ends up being no.
Yeah, Klepa is low right now, and Team Earth Week is just squeezing the life out of Glacial Gaming. But like I said before, they need to avoid Glacial Gaming needs to avoid giving up the kills. They need to avoid giving up all the kind of stuff that they're giving up to their best ability, I guess. And because we've seen a few kills where it's like, well, that could have been avoided probably, and that's the kind of thing that they really have to stop doing if they want to be relevant, by like 25 minutes,
Oh, here we go. Stun on to Retro. He goes down. Blarg and Flarg, 3-man knockup. There goes the Wheel of Death by Draven. Gets the kill. Sims locks up people, but they can't really get any more. Klepa's going to get knocked up. There goes the ultimate. Fraction, he's getting focused. Fyros X doing a lot of damage.
And my Mojo So Dope coming back. Solar Flare coming down. Klepa's in trouble. Fyros, no. And
so low.
Wow. With the punch and jabs that they just threw out right there, no one goes down. Surprisingly enough, all 4 people are still alive.
Really well played by Glacial Gaming's bot lane because they successfully deflected a very strong dive by Fraction.
Ooh, Blarg and Flarg.
Legendary Top
got himself caught out right here. And this is exactly what Glacial Gaming needs. They need pickouts like that, That was so good for Glacial Gaming.
Though, because now Earthweek's going to take a tower. And the thing is that when you're discussing all the things they need to do to stop giving up kills, the problem with that is they have to play a lot more passive because right now there is such a large lead for Team Earthweek.
Yeah.
And by playing passive, they're going to lose control of the net map, which they don't have much map to lose control of anymore. They've lost all 3 of their outer towers. Meanwhile, Earthweek still has all 3 of their outer towers.
Right.
So they've really got to try to make something happen. They need to coordinate with the ultimates of GG Simp and Blarg and Flarg, as we saw. Yeah, they lost a couple, but they were able to do a lot of damage between the Cyclone, Simp's ultimate, the Frozen Tomb, and the Whirling Death of Draven. They were able to really use that AoE wombo combo that they've got to great effect. They just need to survive a little bit longer and power up those abilities, and they do have a good chance at still winning this game.
Yeah,
it's just that they need to stop the bleeding.
They really
don't know how they do that.
They really need to try to get to they really need to try to get Draven big. They really need to try to get Kassadin big. And Fyros cannot afford to be caught here. thank goodness for him that that wasn't anything more than just, you know, a little bit of damage going on to him, because Glacial Gaming cannot afford any little death like that right now. On the other side, Team Earthweek is doing such a good job of capitalizing on all the mistakes of Glacial Gaming. They really are. They're controlling the jungle. They're controlling the lanes. You know, and they're trying to just squeeze tighter and tighter.
That being said, Blargenflog gets caught out. He gets vision on him. This goes in. Blargenflog. Whoo! That's a lot of damage on Shaco. There's a rolling death, but Braum gets the kill.
And we see Legendary Top coming in by Mojo, so Dope coming down, Solar Flare coming down. Goodbye, GG Sim. Goodbye, Kleppa. Triple kill going down for I Play Fizz.
Triple kill. That's a 4-1, 4-1 Cho'Gath. So the mid Cho'Gath is not dead. I Play Fizz showing that he can play other things too.
Yeah.
And now more towers are going to be taken for Team Earthweek here, as they've got 4 with really high health here, and there really isn't a whole lot of answers available for Glacial Gaming as they back off the tower.
Yeah, I mean, we knew from the start that, you know, their team comp looked a little kind of, you know, like, at least I feel it looks a little wonky, right? I mean, we got the Lissandra on the top lane versus the Jax. We got a Kassadin and a Braum and a Wukong, but I mean, it kind of feels like, okay, we're looking for CC, right? I mean, if you look at their team comp, they want a CC. But Team Earthweek is doing such a good job of keeping them on their toes by keeping them spread out and just
Shaco needs to watch out.
Yeah, taking a kill after a kill after a kill, you know, and that's how they're getting their kills. They're not, you know, necessarily team fighting. Now they are, because they're so strong, but before it was just, you know,
individual pickups. And one thing worth noting, Shaco's going to get ignited. Auto attack, so Retro picking up the solo kill there and the white there for himself, but he needs to watch out. There comes the Leona. There's a stun. He's going to rift walk away though. But that's the kind of stuff they need to be doing to pull themselves in.
Absolutely.
That's what Earthweek did to get themselves ahead. The thing is that with all that AoE CC they got, Blargenflog going in for their stealth pickup. There goes Cyclone.
And my Mojo So Dope is in real trouble right now. He's trying to get away. He flashes out and goes into the jungle. He is going to get away. I think maybe, you know, if they had a little more wards in their own jungle, they would have been able to find him and maybe follow it up. But I think maybe he was long gone at that point. It's just
even if they had more wards in the jungle though, when they guessed the wrong direction and he flashed, there's no way they would have been able to acquire that one there.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, you can say, well, Ultimate's shorter cooldown than Flash, but they really needed to pick up the kill there just because, no, it's already halfway through its cooldown.
Yeah. And
they gotta make those work to pull themselves back in the game.
They really needed that Twitch shutdown gold. My Mojo So Dope was way out in the end zone, you know? He was all the way up there by himself. And that kill should have been had. Someone on that team needed to throw down like a pink ward or something to really capture that Twitch. That gold they would have gotten from him is, you know, very much needed right now by Glacial Gaming.
Glacial Gaming just could have pulled the trigger a little bit harder too. I know that Symph still had his ultimate up when the gank went down, and he was about probably a half second right behind Blargenflog. If they had timed themselves up a little bit better and Symph was able to lay his abilities on top of Blargenflog's, that would have been the kill secured that way too. So definitely good likelihood that that's coming from Symph just not having been part of the team.
Legendary Top going hard on GG Symph. Blargenflog in real trouble right now. Legendary Top does not care about a tower. And Pharos looks like he's in real trouble. Kleppa throwing out that ultimate, saving the life of his comrade. Pharos will live another day.
And so mid tower defended for this wave at least. They are at the point now that they can perhaps try to survive. Tower left, so they do have the ability to now kind of set up a last stand, because it's going to be very difficult for Earthweek with their composition to really get inside the base easily.
Yeah.
Really strong fighter lineup. They've got Jax, they've got Lee Sin, they've got Cho'Gath, and they've got Leona. That's going to be really strong for them when it comes to team fights, because even though Glacial Gaming has all of this AoE Wombo CC available, there's a lot of tank for Earthweek to soak it up with. However, necessarily have a bunch of incredible CC available to themselves. They don't have like the Ziggs to siege. They don't have the Nidalee spears available to them.
Yeah.
They are lacking a true mage, so they do have a little bit of difficulty, I imagine, at this stage of the game. The only way that they're going to be able to really crack open the base is going to be catching out Glacial Gaming and doing Baron, or just being so far ahead that they can tank up tower really well, because otherwise Glacial Gaming is going to be able to defend fairly well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I've seen both of these teams play. They're both really strong teams. And I know these teams have played each other before, from what I understand. So there is a history there. But right now, Glacial Gaming, like you said, they need to try to get some picks.
They need to. Though. Simp needs to be careful.
They do need to be careful. Absolutely.
Retro. Rat-tat-tat. Frozen Tomb.
Shaco the useful.
A lot of damage.
Very low right now.
Kleepa
coming up. Retro able to get my mojo so dope. And while that happened so fast, Kleepa picking up the other kill, and I Play Fizz is coming around the backside. GG Simp maybe in trouble. Fraction.
Oh, he gets his E off just in time. Oh, goodness.
Wow.
Retro is running away, but here comes Jax. Ooh, he gets the jump away just in time, but is he going to be able to keep running?
And GG Simp being very sneaky right there with that recall. That is what they need. Little things like that will get them back into this match.
Little things are the 4-1 and 3 Kassadin. Kassadin's done a decent. He's not exactly farmed like a boss, but he hasn't died, which I'm not surprised. It's kind of Cho'Gath doesn't necessarily always kill people. He just forces them out of lane and then gets a bunch of CS on them, which is exactly what I Play Fizz has done.
Yeah.
But that being said, Kassadin's starting to get those items completed. He's got the Rod of Ages and it's fully stacked. He's got pretty much everything he needs to finish his Zhonya's. Soon he's probably going to start going for a Void Staff or a Lixbane. He's going to start doing an absolute ton amount of damage. And we see Simp also trying to itemize to remain useful. He's got the Morellonomicon completed because there's pretty decent amount of lifesteal available to Earthweek between the auto attackers on their team. So he's still going to be useful because of his Frozen Tomb. So there's still a lot of kick left in the Glacial Gaming dog. They just need to make sure they don't give up anything too large.
Yeah, they need to, just communicate with each other and just don't do any stupid mistakes, really. That's all it comes down to. How well can they play when they're on, when they're up against the ropes, so to speak. That moment is now for Glacial Gaming. They have their backs against the ropes. It isn't really looking the brightest for them. But in this moment, will they be able to rise up to the challenge, really? Because Team Earthweek is just, taking control of this match. They have been ever since First Blood, right? But like you were saying, it is not done for Glacial Gaming just yet. There is still fight left. And
one thing worth noting is that Glacial Gaming did a good job there. They were able to take that time while Earthweek recalled to go reward their own jungle and clear out wards.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot of vision for Earthweek inside of Glacial Gaming's jungle.
And we see legendary top NA getting ulted right now, and he was in real trouble. Unfortunately, they couldn't burst him down as much as they would have liked to, but that was a really scary situation for legendary top NA. So, just looking across the board here, we do see We do see Pharaoh sitting on 173 CS, whereas my Mojo So Dope is sitting on 175 CS. So, despite, being KO'd as many times as Pharaoh was, he was able to keep up in CS with Twitch. Now in the mid lane, on the other hand, Cassidy wasn't really able to keep up with Cho'Gath as much in the CS, but he's keeping up in kills.
That's part of the territory, though. Cho'Gath, especially I think in mid lane, is really played to get a stupid CS lead and just buy a bunch of items.
Yeah.
He forces people out a lot if he can land a bunch of his ruptures, which he proved he was able to do before Cassidy hit 6.
Right.
But the only lane that's really had the...
Yeah, and I mean, I know Cassidy's one of those champs where it's like, it is very hard to farm with him, especially in the early game. But like I said, he has done a really good job of making sure he keeps up with the kills. He's 4-1-3 right now, and he is really going to be the key to helping the comeback of Glacial Gaming, right? So we do see Leona taking a bit of aggro there from the dragon, and it looks like Team Earthweek is calling for that dragon 28 minutes and 45 seconds into the match. Glacial Gaming is really nowhere in a position to kind of contest this, so this is probably going to be free, which it was. My Mojo So Dope picking that up, increasing their lead now to almost 12k.
Yep, so it is a rather large lead. Legendary top, looking for some place here in the jungle. But otherwise, it's been a pretty good hold so far by Glacial Gaming. Earthweek's been in the driver's seat for the last 10 minutes or so, but they really haven't gotten too many kills in that amount of time, just because Glacial Gaming's done a good job of containing their losses. The only problem is that they're also not really getting any more gains themselves when that happens, as they are looking to defend this final turret, but I don't know how feasible that is.
Yeah. In the top lane, we do see I Play Fizz with that Cho'Gath pushing on the top fraction here. Getting caught by Kleepa. Will they go on it is the question. Solar Flare coming down fraction. In real trouble, we see Shaco the Useful all the way in the back. Shaco the Useful and Fraction are solo. Blargenflarg throwing down the ultimate. Legendary top NA managed to bring down Kleepa, but in the process, Shaco the Useful and Fraction went down. Such a good fight there from Glacial, but look, I Play Fizz is pushing the top lane down.
So, that was where... Again, just because they're down a whole lot of gold doesn't mean they can't use their really powerful carry in Cassidy to just wreak havoc. Symph did a really good job of positioning well. He got 3 or 4 people with his tomb, and he kept himself safe while Blargenflarg caught up with the Cyclone and was able to knock up the 2 low health targets in Shaco the Useful and Fraction, and they were able to pick it up. Fraction landed a really good solar flare to start off, but there just wasn't enough follow-up. There's just not a bunch of damage in the Earthweek lineup. If you were to take away Mojo So Dope. So if Mojo So Dope isn't set up to hit everyone with Rat-a-tat-tat, there's a good chance that Glacial Gaming can take it, just because they've got multiple carry damage dealers, and Symph, is considered more of a carry champion. Same thing with Retro TV and Pharaoh Stacks. Blargenflarg also on one of those carry junglers, so there's a lot of damage available to Glacial Gaming if they can line it up well.
Right. And you really gotta appreciate
oh my god, he's damn near unkillable there, though. You can see he's got Frozen Heart, he's got Abyssal Scepter, he's got another Giant Spell. I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes Randuin's. He's got max stacks, and he has yet to die. He is a monster.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for them to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, I Play Fizz right now is doing the, Godzilla thing, right? Where he just, he gets his stacks, and he becomes unkillable, and you see everyone just running away from him. he he just he becomes that scary though. He really does.
Top.
And Legendary Top right here, not looking so good. The whole Glacial Gaming team is slamming Legendary Top NA, RIP, but Team Earthquake does manage to get that bottom tower. Wow. So, what happened there? Was that a bait? Was that a bait by Team Earthquake to get that bottom tower? Or, you really got to think, like, yes, that was a really good kill for them, but in the process they gave up a tower. But at least right now Glacial Gaming is coming together as a group, staying, level-headed about the situation and trying to take little nibbles at a time to get back into this fight. But they really gotta slim down on giving up the towers, the objectives, right? Because you don't want to keep opening more doors to your house.
Well, there's nothing more really for Earthquake to really grab. Every other turret that's left now is inside the base.
Yeah.
So that bottom turret falling really was inevitable. So them trading the kill on Legendary Top to get that shutdown, to get a kill on the Jax, I would say it's overall worth for Glacial Week, but Klepa is in trouble here. He is between a big monster and Flash over the wall.
And Klepa does flash, but
wow,
it's not going to be enough. Klepa was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and honestly, clearing out that pink ward was not worth it at all. He was way out. There was no one to back him up.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Earthquake's best ways to finish out the game one of them was them looking to try and make picks by using their open advantage in the jungle and there we go. Klepa gets caught warding.
Team Earthquake is just gonna flex their muscles right here. Blarg and Flarg throwing down the ultimate on top of GG Simp, and Retro is not even in this fight. He got solar flared and he's just being zoned out. Blarg and Flarg, they are managing to keep them. Oh my gosh!
Oh, there goes
Retro
Mojo.
able to pick up the kill on my Mojo, so dope.
And they got Jax.
And they got
again,
Jax.
They kited back so very well. Bloggenfly held on to his ultimate. Went after. I played Fizz and Legendary Chop tried to be a bit of a gang trying to beat up on Pharaoh Sax, and he's just like, I don't want any of it.
And
immediately pops Cyclone. GG Synth immediately uses Frozen Tomb on him after it too. They peeled back for their team so very well, and yeah, they lost the tower, but they played that fight so very well.
Very good communication coming out from Glacial Gaming here, and I've got to respect Blarg and Flarg has held on to his ult for the perfect moment 2 fights in a row now. He did it bottom lane and he did it again. He's very patient and he's really good at observing the situation, and he pulls the trigger when need be, so I can respect that definitely. And the way he did that, he just saved the life of, a few of his teammates by doing it the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, really, Blarg and Flarg has had a good game for himself. It was just the very beginning of the game when he started out 0-2 when they bullied him out of his... Oh! Did he get the blue buff? Got to double check here. Nope, it managed to get over to Retro. No, Retro got it. Retro got it. The blue buff on Cho'Gath is the one he already had. So, but Blarg and Flarg really has had a good game. Just that early game rumble where he got killed by Lee Sin almost immediately after dying in the gank and set him behind 0-2. That's where he had a difficult part of the game. But other than that, he's made a good game for himself. A lot of damage going down there onto Earthweek as they unfortunately procced.
Yeah, and right now the the gold gap, blah blah blah, the gold gap is becoming smaller and smaller. Glacial Gaming is slowly putting their foothold back into their
foothold. Their foothold.
Foothold.
Oh, their foothold. Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't. I just like. I didn't know people had footholds, but this is where they need to be careful because it's the dreaded Baron dance. And it's even something I imagine that Earthweek's a little hesitant to start playing in because this is where an AoE team can absolutely come back and make plays is right around that Baron pit.
And as sneaky as they are right now, Team Earthweek did a really good job of keeping their wards up all around this area. So I know we've seen them clear out a few wards, but Team Earthweek still got a few sitting around. So they're able to see kind of what's going on, and they're trying to regain the control back in this area. And yeah, it's just, you know, like you said, that dreaded Baron dance. They're going to try to clear out the wards. You know, they're going to try to keep Glacial Gaming on their toes as to what's going on this side of the map.
Yeah, I don't know if... The thing is that there really isn't a whole lot that they can do. They've kind of been struggling for probably the last 15 minutes or so now to try to figure out a way to finish out this game. They've had a large lead. Oh, Retro. Okay,
Retro almost getting caught there by the Jax, and if had he gotten caught there, that might have been the end of the game, honestly.
Well, it's gonna mean the Baron now. But the question is, how useful is Baron going to be for Earthweek? Yeah, it's going to give them the gold, but is it going to be what they need to finally crack the tough shell that has been Glacial Gaming's base? They've still got wave clear and GG Simp, but that's really about all there is. There isn't a bunch of wave clear available to Glacial Gaming. Meanwhile, they do have siege elements available with I Play Fizz being able to rupture, but other than that, it's going to really rely on how just picking the right moment to going in for Earthweek here.
Yeah.
They've got the top lane inhibitor to go for, so they're probably going to be able to take that one fairly uncontested. I don't know if Glacial Gaming is going to want to fight this one too hard against the freshly baroned up Earthweek.
Yeah, I'd imagine we see that Glacial Gaming give up this inhib, not risk the whole game on one inhibitor. But, you know, if they do, then Leroy Jenkins, let's go in here and let's see what we can do. And it kind of looks like that's going to be the case.
Fight! There's some ultimates!
GG Simp goes down!
Lagerfar gets killed. That's double kill for Cho'Gath. There's a multiple man knockup. Lots of damage. Retro goes down. Kleepa is getting chased after. There's the flash. There's the rupture. Pharaoh's X goes down, and there goes Kleepa, flashes away, flash forward by top NA, and that's the ace. 5-0 trade in favor of Earthweek.
And that is going to be the game for Team Earthweek. They have waited for this moment since First Blood, and they have done such a good job from that First Blood of keeping their lead. And, you know, for a moment it looked like maybe Glacial Gaming was on the road to come back, but Team Earthweek wanted this, and they earned this. Congratulations to Team Earthweek. We are going to get into a commercial, but when we get back, we will be back with an interview. Stick around, guys, and we'll see ya in a minute.
I hope you don't mind that I covered the...
Hang on one sec, Logan. Hey, what up, man? Oh.
Red buff being caught out by Castan and him again. And the flash to what? Oh, the spear actually gets him off the pocket and the red card. Passive. It
looks like they're going in. Whoopsie baby going down. Oh!
Very well done. plays.
Oh, the gate? Oh, and he's gonna get stunned. Oh my god, the black shield.
The vein.
But he doesn't care. The veins coming in. He's getting a 3 strikes, and then he's gonna get the silver ball.
The white team already. How do you go back? Just continuing though.
So many damage.
Oh, the flash and the bomb.
Triple kill. Can he get a quadra? He's going in for
the penta.
Oh my god, the penta.
Oh my god.
He got the penta. Oh, Castle up in the god.
You on the trap now.
When the agile though comes and
You lead.
Okay, guys, welcome back. We are here with Dylan. I play Fizz, and he just got done playing a really good game on Cho'Gath. So first things first, congratulations to you and the rest of your teammates at Team Earth Week. You guys played one heck of a game.
Second thing first, obviously, it's got to be what's on everyone's mind. Why Cho'Gath?
Because I feel like Godzilla when I play him.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Told you,
was
man.
mentioning that in the game.
It's a Godzilla factor.
What was the why did you pick the Cho'Gath in this week's match?
To try and give other people or the other team something else to ban other than Fizz. Just throw out random stuff out there. I'll keep doing it too because I like non-meta picks better. So it's just the way I play.
So it's just you're trying to next level strats. The S4 secret stats document here for your team says have I play Fizz play random stuff so people ban stuff out against them, huh?
Pretty much.
That's
so,
cool.
How much practice you have with the Cho'Gath? You played it really well. Is this something that you play a lot in ranked or solo queue?
I haven't been playing it really. Like I played it maybe 5 to 6 times during the week since our last game. But other than that, I haven't really played it this season. At the start of the last season, I played it probably 100 or 200 games in a row, just spamming Cho'Gath for fun.
Wow. So you guys kind of went, had such a big lead, and then it looked like Glacial Gaming might, or they kind of started to come back. They got a kill here and there, and the gold lead started decreasing. At that time, when it looked like they might have a chance to come back, what were your thoughts? What were you guys, communication like? What was the communication like between you guys?
Well, we haven't been able to practice very much. Since the last game, we've actually played one practice game together, and we didn't have the support that we practiced with either. So it was kind of like everyone was just calling out whatever, trying to communicate as best we could. But my teammates really wanted to push down that bottom lane tower where it kind of looked like it was going the other way. And I feel like that once I just told my team, like, we have Twitch and nothing else, the towers, all we have to do is keep vision control and starve them out, and we can get a team fight around Baron. And so that's what we did. We didn't actually get the team fight at Baron, but we got a free Baron, so that was pretty much the ending of it.
Yeah. Walk us through this this matchup. So it was you against Cassidon in the mid lane, and you guys are playing, and it kind of looked like every single one of your guys' lanes were just completely like really handling their business, right? So kind of walk us through what was it like going against let's see here. What was it like going against Retro on Cassidon in mid lane?
Well, I don't want to call him garbage or anything, but he was kind of garbage. Like, I don't know, he just, like, I played against a lot of Cassidans, and he just had no balls, pretty much.
Well, I would imagine that part of the his planning was the idea that he was thinking, well, I don't need to kill Cho'Gath because Cho'Gath's never going to die. I'll just try to outscale and make plays on the map, because he did get fairly himself. He was able to insert himself into a couple of places on the map at key points. You know, he ended the game 6-2 and 6.
Well,
just
he tried to roam though. He tried to roam bot lane and got way behind, and he just got out CS the whole game and shoved into tower. Like, I've played against a lot of Cassidans, and I've played against so many of them, and the ones that beat me are ones who go ham. So.
Okay. So that last kind of stretch of game that you guys had where, you know, I think it was Legendary Top. He went in with Jax onto Cassidy, right? And it almost looked like you guys caught him out right there, but it forced him to back. You guys got Dragon. At that moment, what were you guys thinking? Were you guys thinking like, man, this is over, this is GG, or what were you guys, what was the communication there?
I don't think we were ever thinking about, like, it was over or GG, we win or anything, you know. We didn't want to underestimate it. I mean, in our last game, we were doing really well in lane, and then we got stomped. So I feel like this game, I kind of just tried to keep us at a slower pace, you know. Like, we were trying to force stuff for a bit where we went bot and got wrecked. And after that, I just said, you know, let's just starve them out. Let's get it done, and, you know, take the objectives, and we'll get bigger. So, Jax also scales really well too, right? Like, that's why their team might have scaled pretty good, but with Jax fed like that, it's pretty much game.
All right, Logan, you have any more questions here?
No, that's good, man. Just congratulations, Fizz, for the win. Thank you for coming on, man. And good luck next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, good night, man, and thank you again. All right, guys, that is it for tonight, and that's actually it for the week. So make sure you guys tune back in on Monday at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the start of the third week of the Dragon League. So I'm GG Marco, my co-host, Captain Rogo.
What's up? That's me.
Yeah, that's him. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and sign off and say goodnight, guys, and we will see you again on Monday.
Adios.